Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I want to express my gratitude to the Swiss Legal Tech Association for their trust and the organization of this session on personal branding. Once, Christopher Reeve, Superman, said, "I gradually stopped wondering what life do I have and began to consider what life can I build?" So what is a personal brand and who has a personal brand? Your personal brand is the impression or the mark you leave on others. This mark is the perception that people have of you, and this perception becomes their reality. Yet, we must not forget that utility is the key feature for your brand. He who has a strong brand has a treasure that must be cared for and enhanced. You have a personal brand. In fact, we all have a personal brand because we all leave an impression, a mark on others. It just so happens that only a few of us actually have a well-positioned or a strong, prestigious personal brand. Managing your personal brand is not a sign of narcissism because, in our view, it's not about popularity, but rather positioning. When lawyers properly handle their personal brand, it helps to position them well in the market, and this is a key factor for them. Why is it important to develop your personal brand? Well, firstly, your personal branding can help you differentiate yourself in the marketplace. It seeks to communicate those singularities we all have and those which the market values. It can help you to build relationships with your colleagues, to develop team leadership skills, and overall to communicate or negotiate better. As someone said, a person's life is their image. We have to learn how to make people value that which no one else can copy from us: our personality, values, style, experience, even our attitudes, skills, active listening and observation, client service, contact capital, and so on. Everything else can be copied: the services we render, the technology we use, etc. Differentiation comes with image. It's a decisive factor that cannot be copied. Either we are masters of our own image or we are a slave to the labels that others stick on us. That's why so many lawyers are competent but not competitive. What does personal branding involve? Your personal branding is your professional life insurance. To achieve a strong brand, it involves knowing what we want, having a willpower and the right attitude, being strategic and organized, and knowing how to communicate and sell or influence better than our competitors. Personal branding helps us be able to take control of our professional careers. It's about discovering the best version of yourself in order to serve others better. It's also about communicating the added value that you can bring to your targets appropriately. But how can you get your added value to be perceived? Well, through effective communication. In fact, the quality of your communication arguably contributes to the quality of your life. What's more, personal branding helps you to be the protagonist of your life. Throughout your life and professional career, your personal brand is developed by maintaining a correct and consistent position or approach to the challenges we face, and through these challenges, we build essential strategies. The most recommended strategy for your personal branding is a specialization or focus. Really successful people tend to be excellent in a single skill or competence. What we can see, therefore, is that personal branding is a cyclical strategy and tactical process. First, there is our analysis and our reflection, and then there are our actions honed by our tactics and brought about by the steady improvement of certain key skills. This continual training process allows us to learn how to generate more trust and perfect our commercial skills, which are essential for every lawyer. Personal branding involves being aware of how others perceive us to know what we should avoid doing. This involves knowing yourself and not only who you are, but also who you want to be. Furthermore, this involves managing the credibility with reputation. That is, escaping from the symbolic prison in which lawyers who do not manage their reputation are trapped. Essentially, everything depends on our reputation, which is why it is so surprising that the vast majority don't manage or care for it, or don't even defend it with the utmost and constant care. In summary, a strong brand, personal brand, helps build trust. The foundation of that trust is integrity and competence as a lawyer. What's more, it creates a reputation and the perception that others have of you. Therefore, the more trustworthy the brand, the less sales effort is required. So, how can we create a reputation or name for ourselves? To create a reputation, we must focus and work on a prominent feature, such as a valuable quality like honesty or efficiency, etc., which differentiates us from others and make it known to as many people as possible. People are usually careful with the image they project. That is, although many lawyers dislike marketing, this is usually due to ignorance. More often than not, everyone cares about showing their best face, their best image in the professional fields. Indeed, we all do personal marketing. It's just that some do it better and some worse, some using a method and others not. That said, the smartest thing you can do in your professional life is to become the leading expert in a particular area of knowledge, regardless of the size or location of your law firm. It's a question of having your own ideas and opinions and gaining visibility in the market. What are the steps to manage your personal brand? From our point of view, there are 5 phases. The analysis 1, the definition of the key foundation of your brand, the definition of objectives, the definition of strategies to achieve the objectives, and your personal brand plan in accordance with your target market. The analysis phase is the essential one, and the vast majority of lawyers are not aware of this. It starts with a personal examination of yourself. This phase is about discovering what makes you special and knowing how to communicate this in the market in an authentic, clear, consistent way. The impact this can have will allow you to find competitive advantages or unique personal values and qualities that you will need to enhance and communicate with your targets. The analysis phase also includes developing self-knowledge, the analysis of your target market, and the drawing up of a training plan of those competencies or skills that you need to improve to help you achieve your goals. As Abraham Maslow said, it isn't normal to know what we want. It is a rare and difficult psychological achievement. Understanding who you are, what you want, what image you convey, which perception your different relationship circles have of you is essential. Knowing this helps you to take advantage of the strengths and qualities that make you stand out. This journey of self-discovery through developing self-knowledge is what serves you to help you discover your brand. It's your starting point. How do we carry out the self-knowledge process? In our case, Barton Consultants provide the client with a questionnaire including around 30 questions about their personal brand. Additionally, we seek to know the perception that other people, such as colleagues, clients, and if necessary, friends and relatives, have of the lawyer. Example questions. How do you define yourself as a lawyer? What is your current professional situation? What do you want from your career? What are you passionate about? What sets you apart from others? What do you poorly or mediocrely? What are those things or activities that consume your time and energy and do not help you create value? What opportunities exist in your setting or environment that you can take advantage of? What threats do you perceive, market overcrowding, etc.? Who are your competitors? What is your reputation? What are your main values and what is your reason for being in the market? What do you want to achieve? Where do you want to be in 1 year, 5 years, and 10 years from now? In what field of specialty do you want to be renowned? What are your target clients? What do they value? How do they think? Reputation. Do you know what Google clients, colleagues, family and friends have to say about you? Do they perceive you want to be perceived? Positioning. What do you want to be associated with in the market? What are your keywords? What elements of your life and career can add to the appeal of your personal brand? How have you collaborated with prestigious press to date? What social networks are you active on? What type of activities do you carry out on each of them? Do you post or comment on the post of others? Do you have many contacts? What type? Related to your professional or diverse? Contacts or personal network? Who are your prescribers or influencers? Finally, your message. Please define your value proposition. That is, who you are targeting. What a potential client or target audience will gain by hiring you and the reason they should hire you instead of the competition. It is also essential to know what Google says about you to ensure you have a consistent brand. That is to say, your brand is consistent in both the virtual and the real world, as many people will only know us virtually. We can complement this analysis with other tools such as a personality test and by analyzing and giving insight into personal strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in the market. The second phase of your personal branding is the definition of the key foundation of your brand, your passions, your values, your mission, your purpose. In other words, what you want to do in your professional career, and also your vision, meaning your direction in the long term and where you want to be in the future. The third phase of the process is the definition of short, medium, and long-term objectives. The objectives, together with your values, mission, and vision, respond to what you want to be and what you want for yourself, but determined by the time in which you wish to achieve them. The fourth phase is the definition of strategies to achieve the objectives. Definition of your targets. Who is your ideal target? To whom are you going to direct your added value proposition? Your positioning proposal? How do you want to be perceived? What qualities or attributes What words or word do you want your brand to be associated with? Your added value proposition. Why should the potential client use your services? What benefits or added value do you bring? What problems can you solve? Ultimately, your value proposition is your core message to help you stand out. Overall, your positioning proposal and your added value proposition will give you the market visibility you need to ensure that your name is associated with something relevant, perhaps a specialty or a geographical area of advice, so that you are perceived as unique and therefore attractive, special, or different. This can be done by promoting through the generation of relevant content aimed at your target, using an attractive approach, and if possible, being inspiring. The final phase, the fifth, is related to your personal brand plan. Your plan should be in accordance with your target market and should be relevant and reliable for firms or individuals with similar mentalities. This essential personal communication should be accompanied by an implementation schedule, control measures, and a review of what you have achieved with these actions. Please remember, personal branding is qualitative in both the offline and online environments. You should avoid overexposure or overcommunication and the stress it can cause, using those offline or online communication channels to bring you closer to where your target audience is, thereby giving the prestige and the ability to influence. More specifically, from the set of values you have, select 3 and communicate them at all times. They must be values that coincide with the main values of your target audience. Importantly, make sure the common values that your potential clients identify in you have a direct relationship in their decision to use your services. Let's talk now about the law firm brand and your personal brand. It is essential that you work in a law firm where you can develop your best version as a lawyer. Your values, goals, and personal strategy should be aligned with those of the firm. Boosting your personal brand also implies boosting the firm's brand and, by extension, any project you embark on. A powerful or prestigious brand acts as a magnet where people, projects, and opportunities are drawn to you. What are the main mistakes to avoid in your personal branding? The main one, the temptation, is copying others. For example, there are many lawyers who, when creating a personal blog, try to imitate other lawyers. This must be avoided at all costs, as you have to be authentic and original. Among current social networks, in my opinion, LinkedIn is the most recommendable for a lawyer. However, you should try to have a majority of potential clients, recommenders, or influencers as contacts, and not just colleagues. Another mistake is the lack of consistency in your personal branding. Then, there is not mastering the communication language sufficiently. In fact, many people think they know how to communicate well, but what they really do is simply inform or give information. Other errors occur in the projection of a lawyer's personal brand. These include self-centeredness or self-promotion, bordering on narcissism. Therefore, it is important to communicate selflessly, thinking only in terms of added value for potential clients and not about promoting your own ego. Doing it one way or another can lead to becoming popular or having a proper positioning, which is different. Some more defects lawyers make from a marketing or commercial point of view. Being a perfectionist. lacking visibility within the law firm, a market, or focusing almost exclusively on the technical side of things, but little on sales are the main ones. These defects, in other words, show lawyers becoming lost, encapsulated in the work itself. And while technical awareness is essential, it is the core, if you like, most lawyers also require fostering relationships to promote public outreach and to take care of their personal image. Some final thoughts. Personal branding is a complex process that should be carried out in a simple way. Without a personal branding strategy, you won't usually get very far. The development of a brand implies a conscious and intelligent management of the perceptions that you want to generate in the market. It is not the result of improvisation, but rather about sculpting your professional life without waiting for others to do or decide for you, by being proactive. Importantly, personal branding is not about empowering your individualism or feeding, but about finding your best version to better serve others. The more you understand about yourself and your market, the more you'll be able to shine as a lawyer. If you modify the perception or image you have created of yourself, you will gain security in what you are offering. Training will help improve your key skills, such as gaining new clients more easily. Finally, your personal branding is a useful investment to boost or refocus your career. It is essentially the best investment you will make in yourself. Thank you so much.